Hello, my darling Diamonds in the Rough. I am your favorite Talking Stone, and today we are back with some lovely, lovely daily puzzles. Now, let us just hop right in with the wonderful. I was going to say mini first. That's not mini first. It's the New York Times Wordle first, silly. And we start off with a wonderful little jazzy, which nets us absolutely nothing, but that's alright. We can plot our way out of this. And we get a T and an S. Maybe stir. Well, I was going to say stirs. That wouldn't fit. Stairs, unfortunately, also too slow. Steer, though. Double E. That's interesting. Okay, it's definitely interesting. Huh. Ha ha ha. Well, that's a lot of popular letters, but how can we jumble them into something? Right. So where could T go? T can go at the beginning or the end. So let's try tree. Tress. No, that's not how it works. So T is going to be the ending letter. We're going to have something, something E, something T. Want to go ST at the end? That's wonderful. An est, a best. Or we're going to need an R probably at the second letter. So R at the second letter, right? What can we do there? We'll do something REST, something rest. Crest. Let's try crest, like the crest on an emblem of sorts. Oh, very, very swanky, swoonky indeed. Let us bathe in the glory of our correct guess, the pride that we have in our efforts. We have grown, we have evolved, and we are just really that good. We are just amazing. Oh my indeed. Right. Now, of course, we have to move on to our second puzzle of the day, and that puzzle, of course, is the New York Times Mini. So let's just hop right in, hop right over, and we are a bit down, bit over, but we can fix it up in a second. We don't have an account. We don't need an account because it's free to play every day, right? Is this good on the screen? It's good on mine. It's good on yours. Wonderful. Let us begin. Say whether you'll go. RSVP. You RSVP on an invitation to ensure. Is ensure the word? Yeah, ensure that you. Not ensure, but to claim that you were going. Nice. So let us continue. Fitting game for Chip, Jack, and Betty to play. For Chip, Jack, and Betty. Well, the first thing that came to mind is jacks. Like the old game where you drop a ball and pick up jacks on the ground, but that only goes along with Jack. Chip, Jack, and Betty. I don't know who Chip and Betty are. So I'm going to have to move on. Right, 6 class. Blank acid. Hydrochloric. Citric? No. Citric acid's great. I love it for marinades and such. I'm going to be honest, I'm not even too big a fan of like the fruity flavor, but just a nice marinade is amazing. But then there's also, oh yeah, have you ever had ruby chocolate? I had a big chocolate phase in my, I guess, a few years ago I had a pretty big chocolate phase. Not in the sense that I would eat chocolate every day. I wish it were the case, but no, I did not do that. Instead, I was like, ooh, chocolate's great, and I read all about it. I learned about the difference between cocoa butter and cacao, chocolate liquor, whatever you want to say. Learned all about the process, and it's wonderful. I would never make chocolate by hand, though. It seems way too hard and way too easy to mess up. But chocolate, I just love chocolate. All chocolate is great. From your rich dark chocolate, which is my personal favorite, to your classic milk, and even white chocolate. I do like white chocolate. I believe it lacks cacao powder, but it still has the, chocolate liquor, whatever you want to call it. It still has that. It's still chocolate in my mind. But there's a fourth type of chocolate that's a bit less known, or a bit more innovative, I don't know. And that would be ruby chocolate. And I remember ordering a bar of Ruby Chocolate off of Amazon a few years back. And what Ruby Chocolate does differently is, I believe it's chocolate but with citric acid. I don't know the percentage of cacao. I don't know the percentage of cocoa liquor, but it's very interesting of a flavor. I cannot say it's my favorite, but I enjoyed eating it at the time I ate it. I can say that. But you can really taste the citrus. You can really taste the citrus in it. But yes, if you're ever in the opportunity to try Ruby Chocolate, I definitely recommend trying it. I don't think it'll be your favorite, but it'll definitely be an enjoyable experience. But right, Ruby Chocolate aside, we have no idea what this acid could be. It could be a lot of types of acids. We'll continue. Beginning of the joke is the setup. That's what I'd say, the setup. The setup to a joke. Like, setup to a knock-knock joke is knock-knock. Who's there? Boo, boo-hoo. Why are you crying? That's peak 5-year-old me humor. Peak 5-year-old me humor. Oh, but I do have a favorite knock-knock joke. But you have to start it. Well, it doesn't work when there's no one here. But my favorite knock-knock joke goes like this. Imagine there's two people, me and other me. I'll use a different voice. Alright, so this is my favorite knock-knock joke. But you have to start it, okay? Okay. Knock, knock. Who's there? That's the joke. That's the entire joke. Just the, putting the onus on them to make the joke. Oh, I feel like I have to explain it, though, because it's hard to do. It's hard to convey two people joking around. But anyway, we'll continue from that very, cringy, conglomeration attempt of a joke. Whatever. Mix as a salad. You toss. You toss a salad. I believe that's the right guess. So we'll continue. Doom's Shakespearean lover. Of course, that is none other than Romeo. Well, Juliet too, I suppose. Actually, even Caesar. Caesar has a wife. Caesar died in Julius Caesar. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, honestly, I can just go through, like, Macbeth, both of them. There's so many just Doom Shakespearean lovers. So many. So we'll just continue. But yeah, Romeo is the one that fits perfectly. Short comedic performances. Skits. I have never performed a skit in real life. I've been to improv shows before, even as like a part of a school field trip, which was really weird. Like middle school me and a bunch of middle school gremlins going out to see just some people do improv. I don't know what the educational value of that was, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I almost knocked my water down on the floor. That was silly of me. I was wondering what I was touching, but yeah. But yeah, improv. It's fun. Never done a skit before, though. I'd like to. But it's a combination of getting cold feet and then just, like, not putting myself in a position to actually to perform one. Because there have been instances where I could have, but I chose to do some other tasks, like in a scout camp or something like that. Right, so let us continue. Maybe one day I'll do a skit, though. But let us continue. Planet shrouded in toxic clouds that smell like rotten eggs. That is Venus. Now, I don't think I would have gotten it if I didn't have any letters, but I do actually recall Venus having a presumed smell from, I believe, this is going to sound old, the game theory video about Fortnite, where Fortnite takes place. And it's like, actually, it takes place on Venus, maybe. Game theory is fun. All the theory channels were fun, or are still fun. I like them. Very creative and very thought-provoking. And I like that. Those are two things I kind of want to emulate. Some thinking and some fun. Right, let us continue. Support with up. Prop up. That's nice. That's lovely. Let us continue. I'm never going back to the blank is in the blank. From Let It Go. I'm never going back. The past is in the past. Yes. Yes, it is indeed. I remember 2014 Disney hit film Frozen. Was that the first animated film to cross $1 billion? I don't know. I don't really care either way. But yes, I'm never going back. The past is in the past. Frozen was definitely a good movie. Definitely a fun movie. Definitely made Disney a ton of money, though. I'm going to say an underrated movie that was like Disney Pixar-ish. A movie that I loved was Brave. I love Brave. Maybe it's because I loved archery. Because I don't know why I had like this fascination with archery as a kid. I don't know why. I was never good at it as a kid. Never really had the opportunity to do it except for a few scant times where I was terrible at it. But I loved archery. And the main character from Brave, she loves archery. She's great at archery. She's amazing. It's like, wow. When she shot that arrow right in half, it was like, wow. Peak cinematography, 10 out of 10. And I was like very young. I did not know what cinematography meant, but I just knew at that moment in time, I was like, man, this is peak. I love The Will of the Wisps, and it just checks all the boxes for my personal taste. It just checks all the boxes for my personal taste in a movie. And that's why I love Brave. But yes, we did this. We did the mini. It's wonderful. We are wonderful. We're amazing. We are so good at this. We are getting so much better. And now let's see if we can get the triple crown. Get the 3 in the row of the New York Times daily puzzles. Of course, that means we have to take on the wonderful, wonderful connections. Let us hit play. Right, good on my screen, good on your screen, good on your screen, good on both the screens. Hunt. I'm thinking hunting and gathering. Well, I'm thinking hunt as in like a recreational hobby to hunt animals or whatnot. But yeah, hunt. Check. I'm thinking maybe a check mark or a check that you would write out to a bank. Game. Maybe a sports game. Basketball, baseball, maybe a video game. Or maybe a game as in like animal. I remember, it could go along with hunt. Remember the short story, The Most Dangerous Game, that I was forced to read in school. About someone who was very into hunting, and they wanted to hunt the most dangerous game, that being humans. Right, so let us continue. Ford, I'm thinking the Ford cars, maybe even going as back as to the Model T with Henry Ford, but that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe Harrison Ford. Maybe. But yes, let us continue. I'm just thinking cars, mainly. President. Maybe, what are those words? Homophones? Words that spell differently but sound the same? Like a precedent. Well, that's precedent, not president. Those are slightly different pronunciations. But yeah, I'm thinking that sort of precedent, a precedent in life, like the precedent of the precedent is to have 2 terms set by George Washington. Of course, you have FDR who lasted 4 terms, and then the law came to make it 2. That's a precedent for presidents. Or it could be an actual president, like Taft. I forget his name. What is his name? Oh man, what is President Taft's name? I forget Taft's full name. Wow, that's silly of me. I do know why he's the first one that came to mind. I just thought of this bathtub story. If you don't know, there's a story that President Taft got stuck in a bathtub at the White House. Now, I do feel obligated to say that this story is probably fake. There is one source for this being a book that's not really well quoted or whatnot. So it is probably fake, but even so, it's still a fun little story to share, fun little tidbit. But I'm just saying I personally don't believe in the story. But I do recall the story. Right, play. I'm thinking to play a game, or as in like a play for like a theater. A play that actors would perform. Car. I'm thinking cat. I just remember that meme on the interwebs about people calling cats cars and cars cats and vice versa. But yes, a car, it has 4 wheels, gets from point A to point B, yada yada yada. Stop, I'm thinking a stop sign. That's really what I'm thinking of. Or stop as in to halt. Oxen. Oxen. That makes me think farms. But it also makes me think the year of the fox. Not fox, the ox. Year of the ox. Though there's a year of a fox, if I do recall. I'm not too familiar with the Chinese zodiac. But yes, the year of the ox. That's not this year. It's the year of the snake, baby. Wait, is it the year of the snake? Yes, it is the year of the snake. It is the year of the snake. Any year of the snake people, rejoice. This is your year. Your year every 12 years. Right. Block. I'm thinking block as in a rejection in basketball. You would swat the ball. Or block as in you would block someone on your phone. Movie. Oh, that goes along with a bit with play, but that could be a red herring. But movie as in a picture on the big screen. Actor. This is someone who plays in a movie or play. Dam. A dam is usually a blockage. This goes along with stop and block. But like I'm thinking a dam in water or like a beaver's dam. This is something that just blocks something. Dysentery. Oh! What's that game where you travel west? Oregon Trail. The Oregon Trail, right? That's the game's name? That's what I'm thinking of. You die of dysentery. You have a cart full of pulled by oxen. Oh my, that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that. Maybe. Because that's the first thing that comes to mind with dysentery. And we have oxen here too. So if we can just think of more things that go along with the video game, the Oregon Trail, or the actual Oregon Trail, then maybe, just maybe it might work. Director. Someone who directs a movie. And concert. This is a form of entertainment, along with movie and play. Anything else with a form of entertainment. Technically a hunt is. But am I gonna say hunt? I'm gonna say hunt. I don't think this is it. I think hunt might be wrong. Yeah, one away though. Oh no, it's one away. I believe it's these three. So what else could it be? Check game. Oh, it could be a game. There we go. Ticketed events. Nice. There we go. Alright, now let's go next. Dam, block, stop, and what else means to halt? President, hunt, car, oxen, check? Maybe a check. Yes, a check. Restrict. Right, let's get along the Oregon Trail. Oxen and dysentery. What else for the Oregon Trail? Here's the thing with Ford. I believe there's President Ford, the Ford car company. Harrison Ford is... I don't know. Oxen, dysentery, hunt, though. And what else for the Oregon Trail? Maybe presidents? Maybe? I really think it's the Oregon Trail. Let's try car. One away. So either it's both president and car in two of these, three, or it's just actor, Ford, or director. Maybe it's Ford. You know, I'm going to go Ford. There we go. Associated with the game, the Oregon Trail. I don't know what Ford has to do with it, but this is exactly what we thought. Wonderful. And lastly, car, president, director, and actor. I believe this might be Ford as well. What Ford might refer to. Oh, that's funny. Ford acting as a red herring here. And then what Ford might refer to. Wow, that's quite clever. That's fun. That's fun. That is certainly fun. We did it. We did it indeed. Right. Now, of course, we have one more game, one more special little puzzle for us to enjoy. And, oh, I thought I forgot to pull it up. I did not forget to pull it up. So let's hop right into, let's go here so you can actually see the full thing. Angle! The game where we get to guess the angle. Right. We have 4 attempts. Alright, so let us learn how to play. How to play. Guess the angle in 4 guesses or less. Each time you make a guess, it will tell you how close you are and which direction to go. Example. 50. It's more than that and we're getting hot. 73. It's a bit less than that and we are hot. 62. It is a little bit more and we are boiling. The hint tells you how warm your guess was and the arrow tells you to guess higher or lower. The answer in this case was 65. Right. That makes some sense. So we can continue with just playing it. Right. Now, this looks a bit like 30 degrees to me. This angle looks a bit like 30 degrees. Wait, does this increment by ones? Oh, that's nice. You know what, let's go 31 then. Oh, that's only warm? Is it not this angle? Is it a different angle? If it's warm, we're not even close. So I thought it was off the base angle. Of course, let's go 90. Warm, warm. Okay. So, we are not looking to... No, it is that angle. I'm just very silly. For some reason, I thought 90 was 180. So, it's like that. It looks like it might be 50. 50. Let's see if this goes. Getting hot. We have one more guess, and we are not really close. Wow, we played this just the wrong way. Oh boy. But let's see. So that would be 90. And getting hot is roughly 15 away. We'll go 63. We'll end it on 63. And we'll be content with this guess. So let us see. 61! 61. We were off by 2. We were off by 2. Wow. Just absolutely wow. If I just didn't flub my first 2 guesses, we could have gotten, well, 62. That would be a bit difficult. Just because we have to get it exactly. Right. But that was a bit quick, so maybe we can do one more? Right. We are back with our second daily puzzle, just because we're... second extra daily puzzle, just because we're feeling a bit extra. And Angle was quick and left us with a bitter taste in our mouth, bitter taste of defeat in such a short time. So let us try to make up for it with the... Well, I will use this one. The Brain Brashers. This has a daily puzzle, so let us test it out. How many squares of any size are on the board divided up into 6 squares by 6 squares? Alright. So obviously we can just count how many squares. But we can do better. So let us try to think of this rationally. Alright, so let's just take it from the top. So 6 squares by 6 squares, and how many squares of any size are on this board? For instance, so maybe we can have a 1 by 1 square, you'll see with this white square, or maybe a 2 by 2, which you'll see over here. And those are each individual squares. So let us think about this. Divide up to 6 squares by 6 squares. Alright. So, should we math this out? Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's math this out. Do I have a... Give me a moment to try something. To try something indeed. Right, we are back, and we have a little drawing pad that we can use now. Isn't that lovely? So let us hop right in, and let me move this, and we can... Ooh, maybe make this a bit smaller. Sorry about that. Should have done this already. But it doesn't matter. Well, it actually doesn't matter. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. We're good. Right, so let us continue. Where's my eraser tool? Do I not have an eraser tool? Alright, so let's do base squares. So let's think of this, instead of squares, coordinates. So we have 1, 2, 6 in both directions. 1 to 6 in both directions. Right? Right. Now, let's do the case of single squares. For that case, there are, well, we can just count them, 36 of them. But how can we count them? 1 for each index. So, we're going to use some math, and where can I, why can I not find my paint brushes? Please give me my paintbrushes. I need them. Okay, that's better. Natural pencil. Is that better? Control Z. Alright, we don't know what we're doing, but that's fine. That's fine. So, right. We'll think of it simply. So, the first one... This is messing with me. This is messing with me. Oh my, I'm trying my best. We'll use a calligraphy pen. What's actually going to use the mathematical term for summation. For I equals 1, and we're going to 6. Now this counts for the rows. And of I. So that counts for the rows. But we also need to count for the columns. So we'll do a double summation of that. Another 6. And another I equals 1. Right. Technically this formation is wrong. It might be supposed to be J or something. I don't know. But we can say this equals 36. Or in our head this is supposed to equal 36. Now we have to consider the 2 by 2 squares. And I'm going off bottom right corner for aliases. So this has the index. We'll start with 1, 1, ... 1, 6, ... 6, 6. So let us just write that in, 6. Now the pattern is really easy to see because now it's considered 2 by 2 squares. Now they're too wide, so even if we start at 1 by 1, we can only go up to 5, 5 because that 5, 5 corner will be like this. The 5, 5 corner will be here, and the 6, 6 corner will still be touched. So it's the same principle. Where this is down, this is sort of down, except it's comma 5. And this becomes 5, comma 5. And if that doesn't make sense, I'm sorry, I'm very bad at explaining things. But yes, it'll essentially be this same principle up here, except instead of going to 6, where the corner is, it'll go to 5, 5. In other words, this entire thing can be abbreviated much easily, so we're just gonna, can I just hit File New? Don't save. So, if we think of it differently, the size of the squares can range from 1 to 6. And like I mentioned earlier, it's a 6 by 6 grid, right? Right. So we could do the double summation of I equals 1. And I'm just going to put double summation like this. It's very much the wrong way of doing it, but, you know, we don't care. You could write it as this. And it's going to 7 minus j. Where j is the size. J is the size of the square, whether it be 1 or 6. But you want to know what this turns out to? This goes to simply just let me write it like this. 7 minus j squared. So for each each side of length of this square, it is 7 minus j squared for the total number of squares that fit on the 6 by 6 grid. So we need to sum up the different squares, and instead of j or I, I'm going to use z, just because I'm going to translate them to what they're supposed to be. Because they can be, the squares can be any size from 1 to 6, I guess. It's just sort of like an inversing the side length. So let me put z equals 1 to z equals 6. Right. Because it's sort of backwards from what we were doing before, but this is the equivalent. We're just summing up all the squares. So we'll get 1 plus 2 plus 3. So not 1 plus 2. 1 plus 4 plus ... Now, I could write it out and do the math in my head, but do we want to be silly? Would it be wrong for me to just... Would that be wrong with me? I kind of want to do it that way. What I'm thinking of is, I'm not sure if this is technically right or wrong. Instead of doing all this, just counting, I kind of want to integrate it. I kind of want to integrate z squared across 1 to 6, which will just get us 1/3 z cubed at 1 and 6. Does this actually equal the same thing? Now I think about it. I should know this, but I don't. It's been a while. So, z cubed, so 1 cubed is 1. And I'm factoring out the 1/3. And then 6 cubed. Oh no, this definitely isn't right. Because, well actually, would this still be divisible by 3? I don't know. But yeah, 6 cubed. What is that off the top of my head? Yeah, what is that off the top of my head? Well, first of all, this isn't an integer. This is wrong. This is just wrong. So let us actually hide this. Yeah, this we'll beat this out. But anyway, yeah, 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus... I'm going to write on this line here. Sorry for the little tangent. 16... plus 25 plus 36. And what does this net us? 10. Alright, so that'll be 5, 14, 30, 55, 80, 91? Is that right? 91. Is that our answer? 91 squares. Let me just double check. 10, 14, 26, 30, 66, 70, 86, 91. Yeah, 91 squares. That's what we'll go with. And what is our answer? 91 squares. And exactly like what we said here, except we wrote it out in a much poorer way. Much poorer way indeed. Did you... I hope yeah, okay. I hope it showed the little math on the side that I was doing. Definitely nonsensical, but definitely worth it. Right, that is all I have for today. That was fun. It's been a while since I've done math. I really enjoy math. It calms me. It makes me feel... I don't want to say smart. It engages my brain, is what I want to say. It's like a puzzle to me. Some days it can be a bit frustrating, but it is like a puzzle to me. Not too different from what I do normally here with these daily puzzles. Well, different in a sense of it's a completely different puzzle, but it just triggers the same part of my brain. So I just like to say that I do like math. It's fun. And I think I want to get back into it. Just as like a hobby. A recreational mathematician. Of course, I don't know how that'll go or how that'll be, but it's just probably something I want to do in my personal time. Because, I don't know. It's just always been the subject that has fascinated me the most. And if I can be completely honest, I don't see a practical use for a lot of things in mathematics. Even stuff that already has a practical use, like cryptocurrencies. I know there's a huge deal with prime numbers and whatnot, but I don't understand it. I've talked to people who understand it, who've done projects on the math behind it and why it why it's important to cryptocurrencies, which is, sort of my understanding. Like, I can see why it's important, but I can't understand why it's important, if that makes sense. Well, that doesn't make sense at all. I can see that it has a use. I just cannot understand that use, is what I'm trying to say. But yes, it just really fascinates me. And I like that. And I should indulge myself in my fascinations a bit more. Because, I don't know why, I just love that curiosity, that creative spark in me. It sort of ties to this too, but it's just how hobbies go, I guess. And I do want to get into it. Who knows? Maybe I'll even write a paper or something about it. Now, that's definitely too far-fetched. Well, you know? Too far-fetched, huh? Never say never. Alright. Thank you all for watching. Chase your dreams. Do your hobbies. Find that curiosity that lingers inside of you and just pursue it with all your joy. I'll copy you. And together, we can just satiate our human minds. Right, that will do it all for today. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a day. I hope it's a good one. See ya.